Hello, everybody. This is Blue Jay. This is Enemy Hot Takes. You probably remember in the first episode that I first appeared, that I did a hot take saying this Gets It Muff Lap is funny. I know everybody despised me. I can't say it with a straight face. I know everybody was looking at me very funny when I said that. I was an outcast. I was looked down upon by society, but I was given a different chance by God, aka DL, to be on this episode to give my hot take. But don't worry, it is not going to be very uh hot, like a pile of shit hot, like when you ate so much hot sauce and you shit on the toilet. It's going to be like a raging inferno, so blowing up the
What
entire
the
house
hell,
and stuff.
man?
So
Oh
my
god.
hot take would be it kind of hot. I don't know anybody else in here is going to agree with me with this, but it's going to be, I guess, quote unquote logical, to say the least. So
Logical take. Here we go.
logical. All right. I don't know if the DL agrees with me, but we'll see. I don't want to lose friendships over hot takes. Okay. I feel I feel that Skids and Muffler should have been darker in the mood. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What's
I'm
wrong
kidding.
with you?
I am kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Don't
just.
make me regret this.
I am kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
think you
All right.
should.
No, no, no. I don't want to. I don't want to lose friends over skits and mufflap. So, okay. So, my hot take is that whenever I see, because I love animation as much as the next person. I go on Twitter, on these animation circles on Twitter, and then you often see a bunch of discussions about animation wars, animation studios wars, like, oh, which studio is better, this Disney or DreamWorks or Pixar and all that stuff. I'm sick of it. I think we need to stop, like propelling or like comparing each studio, which one is better or not. Because look, 'cause let's be honest, no studio is perfect. That's my hot take. No studio is perfect. Because, like, here's the thing. Whenever you hear, like, like, let's go to Pixar. We love Pixar. You love Pixar, DL, right?
Yes, yes.
So your nerd loves Pixar. Voltaire likes Pixar movies.
Yeah, I
I
like
love
this one.
Pixar.
I don't know. If Voltaire doesn't like animated films.
Oh, okay, okay.
You.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So yeah, Pixar movies are great, but we yes, they're hold up to this higher standard. They're like the standard comes to animation. But whenever Pixar releases a movie that's like not as great, or not like up to the same qualities as like a Toy Story or a Finding Nemo or Incredibles, people lose their shit. People be like, "Oh my god, this movie's an abomination. This is like the worst thing I've ever seen." It's like for example, Lightyear. When Lightyear came out, everybody was shit on Lightyear. Now, look, you may not like Lightyear. That's great. That's fine. But everybody keeps. There's this one dude I follow on Twitter. Every single post, he just does a tiny riff on Lightyear, talks about Lightyear, and it's like, dude, I get it. Lightyear is not your favorite movie. Calm the hell down. That's like most people on Twitter. And then you also they it's not the same thing. We'll go reverse. DreamWorks. DreamWorks puts out Puss in Boots 2, A Last Wish. People were like loving it all together. And then whenever you hear someone that you don't like, or you don't like it, whatever, people lose their shit over it. And then whenever DreamWorks puts out a movie that is not as good as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, like Ruby Gilman or Trolls 3, people lose their shit on that too. I'm like, dude, DreamWorks had like a whole slew of other movies that not many people like, right? Pixar does even some Pixar movies that I necessarily not a big fan of too. Like, come on now. It's just I think as we as fans hold like a high, like too much of a high standard, when it comes to like some movies. And I mean, I know all movies do this too. Like Marvel does this, DC does this. I'm talking more like my experience with animation, in the animation circle. So even freaking Disney puts out Encanto and Frozen, and then he puts out movies like Strange World and Wish, and then people would just talk and just like saying it's the worst thing in the world. Like, bro, Home on a Range exists.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, yeah.
Chicken
I haven't
Little.
seen them. Oh, Chicken Little,
Chicken
like
Little.
Chicken Little, like the sky is falling. Like literally, they're literally everybody turns to Chicken Little saying the sky is falling. Whenever a studio releases a movie that's not on the same qualities, it's just studios. Like here's the thing, not every studio is perfect. They can put out a movie that's not as good. That's just how the cycle goes, I guess. If you ask me, it's just remember Sony. Remember, people just don't like. Remember, people hated Sony Pictures Animation. They put out crappy movie. Well, some movies are not like not very good until they put out Spider Verse, and all of a sudden people think they're the greatest studios of all time. No, they have other. They put out Smurfs, Emoji Movie. Remember the Emoji Movie, everybody?
Oh God, God, no.
I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
the movie existed.
I keep reminding people that Sony, and look, I don't want to keep bringing up like bad movies from the past, but still, we kind of I guess you even know what I'm trying to come across. I'm kind of stumbling my words a little bit. Like if you get what I'm coming from, is that we kind of have this weird like attachment to a studio that puts out great movies, mostly great movies, but then if they put out a movie that's not very good, we kind of just lose our shit over it. That's just coming from, that's not everybody, that's just the people that I kind of view, It's not really a healthy way to look at movies, if you ask me. So, what do you think, Dio?
Okay, so I'm very conflicted with your hot take. Um, Definitely a lot better than the Mufflets and Skids one. Good job.
See, there you go,
You
there you
redeemed
go.
yourself. You
We're
redeemed
making
yourself.
progress here, folks.
Yes, but I'm very conflicted because you are right. We shouldn't we shouldn't go into an animated film expecting every movie to be like great. You're absolutely right because there's different different animated movies that appeal to different demographics. But for me personally, and I personally put animated films at a higher standard because I appreciate the art form, and I feel, and you already know this, um, when it comes to animated films, they're seen as second class citizens, and
Yeah,
a lot of the times, there are animated films that I think are better than the majority of live action films that are released that year, and it doesn't get enough recognition. And my issue is if we don't um, set animated films to a certain standard, they're always going to be looked at as kids movies, you know. And you brought up Pixar for example. Pixar doesn't just make kiddie movies. They make they make adult films that are family friendly. They appeal to everybody. They're family films, I guess. But they make movies that kids can enjoy and adults can enjoy, teenagers can enjoy. They those are like one of the few examples where I feel like that those type of movies can transcend the media that they are. So
yeah,
now, don't get me wrong. There are some animated films that that appeal to more to a younger audience that I do enjoy. I'm not expecting every movie to be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles appeals to a different demographic than Across the Spider-Verse. But still, even if they are being appealing to a younger audience, they still should be able to tell good stories at the same time. Now, I know everybody's going to look at me being a hypocrite because I said I really enjoyed Super Mario Brothers, and I do. Um,
yeah. It, well, yeah, it's like whenever I hear people whenever I hear somebody review a movie and they say like, oh, they're not trying. That doesn't mean like you can't say they're not trying. You have to look at it like when you look at a movie that you don't like, you can see that people are trying, like the animators working behind the scenes, they're trying. Yeah, even though like the let's see, I'm not the biggest fan of trolls, but their animation is really colorful. It's bright and colorful. It appeals to a different demographic. Whenever I see animated films with good animation, at least they're trying. The director is trying. They're even the writer is trying. Like, they're pulling cliches and stuff like that. But at the very least, there's people that are trying with making a movie that that there's movies that you don't even like, or movies that I love, and it's just how making movies basically is. There are people who are trying to make a good product.
And I really get mad at stuff like well, you brought up some really bad examples like Home on the Range and the Emoji Movie, and you guys know I don't like the Cars films, and all that other stuff. It's like it
Look,
it when you see the
hold on, you
track
go
record.
ahead.
Yeah, when you see the track record that Disney has, like when we go back to stuff like the Disney Renaissance and stuff like that, and when Pixar was in its golden era, right? And then these pieces of crap come out in between. It leaves a stain on their track record, on their legacy. Now it's okay if you like stuff like Home on the Range and Cars. Everyone keeps telling me how much they like Cars, and it's like that's fine. If you like it, that's fine.
That's
But just
me.
like it's so strange that like it's like you had such a great track record here, like you were up here, and then Cars comes out. It's like what happened? Like what
like
happened?
here's the thing, it's not like I said, it's not just animation studios, it's also like Marvel, DC, and stuff. Like Marvel puts out, Marvel has great movies in the past, and they also puts out movies that not many people like, but they're gonna, like, studios have their little phase and stuff where they like put out like solid movies every so now and then, but they are not so good as their previous works. But then they'll eventually get back into their game. Disney is like that twice now. The Disney Renaissance, and then they did their little revival era with Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph, and stuff like that. And then I know people don't like Strange World. I mean, I thought Wish was solid. It's not like a masterpiece or anything. It was solid. I mean, it wasn't bad. I don't think. I mean, I know you look at me like, are you sure about that? I mean, no. Hell, even the animation, at least they're trying. At least they're trying. I know it's gonna be 2D at the time, but at least the animation that they were trying to do with the kind of doing the whole stylized stuff, like taking from Spider Verse and Mutant Mayhem and stuff. At least they're dipping their toe into experimentation. They think they're gonna be there. So I'm confident. So I'm a little bit in that optimistic range where studios have their little slump phase and they get back to their rising phase. So they're not gonna like shut down or whatever these stupid people I just look on Twitter on the animation circle. They just said a bunch of hyperbole to me, to be honest.
Yeah, and then with DreamWorks, like for a while, for people thought that DreamWorks was going to compete with Disney, like with its earlier films like Prince of Egypt and Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your
And they
Dragon,
well,
stuff like that.
well they did. They did. They put out movies and they still any well box office and critical wise, and you have movies like Shark
That
Tale.
gosh, Shark Tale, Home, Boss Baby,
Boss.
like what is going on? Like, I mean, yes,
Mm.
you had Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, which was great, but just like there was like just a track record of just like these weird kiddie-ish movies, and you brought up Trolls too, which I know people like Trolls, but like it's just like you guys, once again, you guys were up here, and now you're just like what is going on? Like you're
like
peeling.
like I understand. Like I understand. We need to like but there's people behind the scenes that do their own little different things. It appeals to to like a certain demographic. People behind the scenes, and you get someone like the dude that did Puss in Boots too. Remember, he did Cruise too. What the
That blows my mind. That really blows my mind. Like,
did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, see.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh.
More features
did
from
not-
your webcam. Look at that.
What is
But you,
so?
You look
you have
very sharp.
Microsoft? But you have Microsoft?
No, I'm so sorry if I derailed this stream. It kind of
Yeah. No,
this
that's
camera blew my mind.
Very.
what? Wait, what? Oh, is that so? Do you have Microsoft? What is it?
No,
Windows?
it's a Logitech camera. I don't know, like doing this
Oh,
stuff,
it's
like
Logitech.
Oh, you can still do.
What
Oh,
What
yeah.
the hell? Hey,
Not
put two
in
thumbs
mine
up.
now.
Put two thumbs up at the same time. See what happens.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs. Oh, no.
See, see?
Fireworks.
Okay.
Fireworks. Yeah.
Okay, the camera.
Okay,
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 so I
let's go
saw
back.
this. Okay, so
Go
I
back.
watched
Anyway.
this. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
Just go. But just like all in all, just I don't want to draw this out too long. All I'm saying is, I think like we can root for animation studio. Like that's not like I'm not saying you can't root for animation studio. I just don't get too passionate. Even know what I'm saying. Like you can be passionate, but don't get too overly passionate where it kind of just clouds your judgment. That's just how I see it.
I know it's just, and I really try to keep that in mind. But it's like it's really hard to like be lenient on that when they have set such a great standard in the past. And it's like you could continue to be on that level, but I don't know. It really just depends what type of movie they're making.
Yeah, and also I'm like that too. So don't say I'm not. I'm like oh I'm better than you. No, I'm
No,
like that
no,
too
it's-
sometimes.
Like I said, all film
Everybody's
is
like that.
subjective. All film is subjective. Like what people think is great, other people may not like it that much, and vice versa. But I'll tell you one studio that I don't think has reached their high yet. Like a couple of movies that are good, fine, but like for the most part, this Illumination, man. God, I cannot stand Illumination. They got lucky with Super Mario. But everything else, I'm like, and I like Sing, but other than
Sing
that,
is their best film. I think it's their best film.
yeah, man, they need to get their act together. Like it's so repetitive what they're doing with Illumination, with Despicable Me and the Minions, and what they were trying to do with the Dr. Seuss films. I'm like, what is going on over there?
Well, good news is that they are gonna be doing something different. They hired a guy that's gonna be making like Illumination movies that are more mature. So they have a guy working under Illumination to make more mature movies. So they want to change. So yeah, I mean just because like they're using like stuff like Minions and stuff as like a money printer basically, but they are willing to change. So I think if Sony can change from emoji to Spider-Verse, I think Illumination will do the same thing.
I hope they get that glow up.
I'm
I hope
hoping.
they do. Yes, unfortunately, Isaac, no, I did not like. I mean, okay, I'll give you this. The first Cars is okay. It is okay, but I do not think it's on the same level as stuff like Toy Story or Incredibles or Monsters Inc. It's okay. I understand why people like the first one. It's it's a charming little film. It's harmless. 2 and 3 though, I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, it was rough.
No. Is 3 better than 2? Yes, but that's comparing shit to a booger. But
Actually, I like 3. 3
That's-
is the best of the trilogy.
you think it's the best of the trilogy?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, he's trolling you.
I'm a race car head, so
Hot take, hot take, we got another hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take.
also so a hot take within a hot take. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
There
what
you
you
I
meant.
think I just
That's
did
your next
that
one.
on accident.
That's Inception.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's hot takeception.
Nice. All right.